You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, no. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, I've been so my frustration. I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what?
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Watson, and complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 35.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now, Watson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now Watson, he'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 18. The first carry now. This is Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now Williams. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
From the 36, Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Texans' 32-yard line.
Yellow. 55. And that QB's trash. Let's go.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Just keeping the play alive. And that is caught by Watkins for a Chief touchdown. Sammy Watkins with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Watson off play action. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
It's a gain of 4 there and gives him a new set of downs.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, man, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looks pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
He's going to let it go deep. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Chiefs 14, Texans 7.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll start the drive with Samuels. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
He is going to find Hill here. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. This is caught at the 20. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 20-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Mack. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the Chiefs' 22-yard line.
56, 19. Right there, 56. You got nothing to run. You got nothing. Line up, go.
On second and 12, Watson looking for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7.
Here we go.
Reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So it's third and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. Looking to run with Matt. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
It's going to be a long...
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And going deep for Hill. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 58 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Buying time to his left. It's complete to Williams. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Mahomes now to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. The strong safety, Jaleel Adai, right there in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick, But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now another timeout called for by the offense as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Working from the gun, Mahomes eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Trying to improvise. And he finds a man. That's Watkins. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Butker's kick here is good. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Mahomes to throw. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Mahomes now on first down. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down to the 27-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
Hey, 43, 15.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Flush to his right. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's a big shot.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes, he's got it to Williams. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. On third down, here's Samuels. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on third and medium. Proved to be the right call. First and 10.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Wild Bill, Wild Bill. Jack Rabbit, Jack Rabbit.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 20.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Houston. Marlon Mack, 77 yards. And the Texans cut into that lead. We were just saying off-air during halftime, could they mount a comeback, and how would it start? Well, it started in a hurry.
Yeah, they have to get back into the game, right? So if you're going to do that, you think to yourself, we need points right here on the opening drive. But even in their best game plan, did they expect it to be a one-play drive and put the points on the board? Probably not.
No, probably not, but they got it in a big way. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Looking downfield for Kelsey. Looking for Kelsey there, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
I smell fear in that offense.
Watson now to throw. They'll run the screen with Mack. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And this one is right down the middle. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Looking for Kelsey on the deep ball. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? I eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot, and that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
That's good for 28 yards.
First down, Houston.
One set. 19. 36.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Round them go.
Again, it's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off inside the 5. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now Mahomes. He's got Watkins on the out route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
15.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards. On 1st down, it's Samuels. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City 1st. On 1st down, Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15.
Come on, fellas.
Complete to DeAndre Hopkins.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Watson. Steps away to his left. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kenny Stills, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. McManus's point after is good. And that will shave one more off this lead.
37. Texans 27.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Mahomes going to throw it here. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. Now the ball comes loose, and the Texans scoop it. It's a room to maneuver. And hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 33-yard line.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
Let's get it now. Let's get it right now.
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Samuels. There he goes, left side. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Mahomes to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with a touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
He finds his target, Fuller. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Now it's Watson. He got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Johnson was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Watson. He's going to let it fly. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.